I've served over 10 years on Twitter.com, and I've come to realize that every single opinion ever has been had on that website. Even when my car was stolen last week, there were some people accusing me of orchestrating the theft of my vehicle for views on my podcast. And if anything, I would have done it for views on Mogul Mail. Subscribe while you're here. There is one thing, however, that unites all of Twitter together, and that's when somebody steals art. It's the highest treason imaginable in the lands of Twitter. Now, I'm no fan of art theft myself. However, this is a bit of a controversy because it toes the line of art theft. It's a bit of drama. So let's talk about it. It started with a video uploaded by Corridor about a week ago. I'm just going to show you 10 seconds of this, and I want you to formulate your own opinions about this anime rock, paper, scissors.
2, 3, shoot!
Now, you might have a couple thoughts. One, the sound design's pretty good. And two, this anime looks a little weird. Ludwig, this looks weird. And you'd be right about that. It's a good thought you had. You'd be right, because it's not actually animated. It's video and uses AI technology to create animation and do the rotoscoping work, the work of making the anime look like it's actually moving around. There's some frames in it that look really, really weird, this being one of them. You could call it a smear frame, but you'd have to smoke a lot of weed to get to that opinion. Here's actually a frame-by-frame of them taking a video and making it in anime using this AI tech.
Paper, scissors. It's thanks to all the support.
Boom,
from the members
boom,
at
boom,
corridor.com.
boom. Honestly, kind of interesting. The making of was a very insightful video, but it was called something a little bit pretentious. Did we just change animation forever? No, you didn't. But people did not take that title lightly and took to Twitter to, well, shit on this project. This was somebody kind of hyping it up. This is the future of IP. This anime is made using AI. Corridor Crew's a must-subscribe channel that shows the whole process. 18 million views. Less than 10K likes. And they're getting lit up in the quote retweets. Sheesh. More like it was made for the trash. Got 'em. Yeah, I can scroll this for days, and you'll find no shortage of insults for the people who made it. And it makes sense, because this did come off the heels of a little more controversy involving AI in anime, specifically with Netflix Japan. Now, there's an anime that came out, an anime short, called The Boy and the Dog. I'll show you just a few seconds of it. Cute story about a dog and a boy. And all of the actual dog and boy in this is animated by a real animator. However, if we translate this, the entire background image of this 3-minute sequence is AI generated. And people weren't happy about that. They said they had to do it for labor shortages, but let's be real. Japanese animators are some of the most overworked people and underpaid people in any industry. There's literally a guy who died from a heart attack 3 years ago, stress-related, stress-induced, because of how overworked they are. So for then an AI to turn around and then take all of the work so that the studio can make more money and also just take inspiration from the people who animated it originally seems like a little fucked up. People don't like AI taking over their jobs. I get that. Now, this obviously was the context for why people on Twitter were so upset about the Corridor digital video. And they didn't do themselves any favors because they said a lot of cringe stuff. Let's just watch.
It's part of our humanity to try to visualize things that don't exist. Like, let's talk about traditional 2D animation, cartoons. The most creatively liberated medium is also the least democratized. It takes incredibly skilled people drawing every single frame of your movie to make it happen. But I think we came up with a new way to animate, a way to turn reality into a cartoon. And it's one more step towards true creative freedom, where we can easily create anything we want.
Now, they talk about democratizing animation so that anyone can do it and having creative freedom so anyone can make anything they want. There's only one problem. To do this project, they stole a lot. Now, they were open about this theft in the video. They said it several times, but they taught the AI how to do a specific style of animation so that every frame would be consistent in the animation by feeding it Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust frames. So basically, they were like, hey, watch the shit out of this anime. Only anime in this style. Because otherwise, the anime would have popped out, 10 different styles of anime. And if you did it in a video sequence, it would look impossible. It would look like shit. There'd be like different styles all over the place. So they just jacked it. And you can very much see the resemblance. I mean, this obviously looks better because it's actually animated. But like the nose shape, the eyes, it all is kind of drawn from this. Which is also free to watch on YouTube right now. People have said it's good. I started watching 5 minutes of it, and it seemed kind of decent. Now, I think there were some takes that were a little bit too reactionary, a bit too hot. Illegal AI lawsuits should be brought against Corridor, who stole art stills, animation, photographic cells to repurpose it and monetize it without consent or compensation to Madhouse Studios. And they go on to say that AI is a problem and it's stealing all of the work and that they should be sued for this. I agree that AI art, when AI language uses specific source material, one, they should get permission. And if they don't get permission and you upload it, they shouldn't get monetization on it. In the same way that if I take a song, YouTube auto copyright claims my video and then gives all of the revenue to the original copyright holder, they should have some technology to detect if this AI language learned from one source too specifically and then give credit to that source who they learned from. Suing them, however, it seems like a bit of a slippery slope because you could technically sue for use of any IP. Even something that everyone, I think, would wholly agree is valuable, amazing, cool, and human-made, like the SpongeBob anime, they could probably be sued for if they're making money off of it, right? Because they're totally ripping the IP of SpongeBob. It doesn't matter if they changed it a lot. They're taking the IP that is still held by SpongeBob. And you don't want Big Disney and Big Mickey Mouse to be cracking down on someone who's just putting hard work because it's a fan-made thing. Same goes for like any sort of IRL, Dragon Ball, or One Punch Man video. All of the stuff could feasibly get taken down, and that would, I think, be cringe. So suing, I don't know, but getting paid for their work, absolutely, I agree. And then there was this take. I keep thinking about AI dudes saying stuff like, it enables people to create what they couldn't create before. The Corridor video was shot in live action before they ran AI shit over it. You've literally been able to film a movie on phone for years. What's stopping you from creating before? You didn't want to learn how to be an animator. I get it. There's plenty of other ways to create stuff, dudes. Now, I get the hate towards AI. I just have like an intrinsic hate to it. I don't know why. I think I just appreciate things that are human-made a little bit more. It's kind of like when I realize something's handmade versus like factory-made. I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, I'd like to support my fellow human in their endeavor and working hard as opposed to this machine that is trying to get more and more profits. And I do think Corridor had a major issue in the branding of everything. We're changing AI forever, and animation forever. We are going to literally democratize through our video. That's all bullshit. If they just uploaded a video that was like, hey, we made this and we think it's cool, and this is how we made it, and maybe you could make it too, people probably wouldn't be as upset. And the reason I say that is because they're not even the first one to do this. In fact, this type of animation has been the staple of Joel Haver for years. And his shit is fucking dope. I don't think many people would hate on it. Let's just take a look at a few clips. If you've never seen Joel Haver before, worth it, by the way. It'll be somewhat similar in terms of its AI glitchiness as the rock, paper, scissors, but I think a little more stylistic.
Your son is missing.
Surprised you hadn't seen the posters.
What posters?
Those ones?
Oh, God. That's Marshall on the poster?
Yes, he's our town rat.
Now, this is all AI-generated rotoscoping. And Joel goes into how this video is made on another video where he basically takes videos and takes like shots and animates one single frame.
Fluffy hat, and then I use that for my head shape. So you don't have to...
And then after making a single frame, has AI do all the work of rotoscoping. Basically like, hey, I drew this, now draw it for every other frame in this video. And he talks about the exact tech he uses for that and the exact software that's all free. That allows him to animate with actually not doing all the work of animating every single frame like rotoscoping currently is done. And he has a very good message at the end that I feel like if this is what the Corridor guys said, people would have been on board. Let's just listen.
Love it. It's such a great tool. It lets me create rotoscoped animations alone, which is something I never would have had the time or patience for otherwise. And, for that reason, there are some skeptics in the comments like, oh, is it really rotoscoping? It's like, yeah, it's like AI-assisted rotoscoping. It's like a cheat code, all technology is a cheat code, like filming on a digital camera rather than a film camera is a cheat code, or editing on a computer rather than splicing film together was a cheat code, Anytime technology makes art easier to learn, more accessible, more efficient, we should applaud it because, art should be in the hands of everyone, and we shouldn't have to break our backs and our wallets and waste our lives to make it. We should be able to feel good while making art. And
that dude was spitting bars. And a lot more humility in that message than the Corridor guys who, at the end of the day, did take all of the inspiration and the learning from Vampire Bloodlust and said, we change anime forever. Joel does have his own style and does his own drawings, but still uses AI. I don't think AI itself is inherently bad and evil in this sense, where I think a lot of people are like, AI bros are all cringe. Is Joel an AI bro? Did the Corridor guys just give themselves maybe too many pats on the back? Did they want to because they worked on it really hard for a long time? The answer to all of those is probably yeah or no. I forget the questions. Anyway, that's it. What do you guys think about it? Is it cringe? Is it cool? What do you think? I don't know. I don't really. Just subscribe. Just hang out. Just, I thought it was fun drama. I feel like the tech itself is fine, right? But how it's learned, how the AI is learning is the biggest thing. It should probably only learn from original source material. But we're probably going to get into a situation where they're learning from so many different things that you can't track the singular thing that it originally learned from, so that you can't actually get mad at it. Then we reach some slippery slopes. Anyway, AI is changing fast, huh? Phew. Man. All right, see you later. Hopefully it doesn't come from my job next.